All right, what's good with y'all boys? It's B-Man
Floor
Reacts, and I'm
that I
back.
felt was
Oh shit, I'm back with another video. I ain't gonna get into it too long and take too long or too much of your time. We're gonna get into this video, and all I gotta say is like and subscribe. Watch the other videos if you haven't, and let's get into the reaction. And this time we ain't gonna try to chop it up too long.
better condition or was better fit for the moment than me, then I could possibly sit down for a little longer. I have not seen that yet.
Finney Smith and Hachimura got tied up. James fell out of his hands, picked up by
Come on,
McDaniels.
LeBron.
McDaniels.
And you know what's
lane,
funny?
inside,
Even though I'm not a LeBron fan, I actually thought he was gonna beat the Wolves. Although I did say he was gonna lose to Jokic for the third time in a row, 3 years in a row. He got fucked up by Jokic. I actually thought he was gonna lose to Jokic, but that's unfortunate. He lost to the young man Ant. But I think LeBron's career is over. He got to retire. I was telling you guys
Randall
this.
played him well. Back to Finney Smith. Into the hands of James. Fires up a three. Side of the backboard.
If there was somebody on the floor that I felt was in better condition or was better fit for the moment than me, then I could possibly sit down for a little longer.
The next day,
Minnesota is going to win this series and knock out the Lakers, the 3 seed, 4-1.
They were playoff
For the better
frauds.
part of the past decade, the biggest debate in sports, the biggest debate in basketball, has been Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, and who's the GOAT of the NBA. And here's how it usually goes. For Michael Jordan's playoff failures, which are few and far between, they're magnified, scrutinized, and nitpicked all day long. For LeBron
they
James,
said he couldn't have
the exact opposite. He loses series, chokes in the finals. You know, it wasn't his fault. The team wasn't built to his strengths. He only had 2 All-Stars, and the role players didn't come through.
People can say I'm letting LeBron off the hook. Where the lion's share of this blame lays for the Lakers is at the feet of the person who made us optimistic about the Lakers, which is Luka.
Okay, I don't disagree with that take.
Well, I mean, obviously,
or some
you're only
take to a degree.
as great as your teammates, allow you to be as well.
If you're truly the greatest player in league history, your resume and reputation speak for itself. You shouldn't need excuses, deflections, blaming others to make your case. For Jordan, it's straightforward and simple. For LeBron James, you have all these weird narratives, weird deflections to prop him up on Jordan's level. And speaking of weird deflections, weird narratives, what do we see every single season? You know, LeBron James, if he does X, Y, Z, he'll pass Jordan in this year's playoffs.
But if this Nets team can make it out the East and Bron takes care of them, he's the undisputed GOAT. Beating 2 super teams today is greater than 6-0 in the 90s.
if LeBron James
Flopping.
beats Denver
Look at this nigga.
and marches forward
Flopping.
to ultimately win another chip,
And he got some ice on him too.
I don't know how strong my arguments are going to be on behalf of Jordan moving forward.
If LeBron comes back from 3-1 at 40,
It's crazy how they still
I
got that
don't want
nigga in
to
a picture
even
of his
hear
old
about
jersey.
a GOAT debate.
Those wild what-ifs hypotheticals, they're almost wet dreams. LeBron fans are openly wondering, if LeBron does this, it might turn the tide. He doesn't do it, then they're crickets. And here's the dirty secret. Seeing those hypotheticals as what-ifs, LeBron fans at this point are very, very desperate. And the whole longevity case, it's really wearing thin. LeBron's played 22 years, we understand that. But in comparison to Jordan, that longevity is kind of backfiring. LeBron in comparison to Jordan has played 600 more games, 22,000 more minutes, and 7 total seasons more. And still he trails Jordan in all these major accolades. When Michael Jordan won his 5th championship, he was 34. LeBron James, age 40, still hasn't done it. His 5th Finals MVP, the exact same age, 34.
They call
His
that a
5th
curse.
MVP, which LeBron James doesn't have, Jordan was 33. And his 6th All-Defensive team, which LeBron doesn't have, MJ was 30.
What are you doing? I'm writing this down. This is good stuff.
For LeBron's career longevity, it's a big theme, the major theme. But ask yourself the question, in comparison to Jordan, looking at age 30 to age 40, is it a higher quality of longevity?
Now, I ain't gonna lie. If you ask me my personal opinion, I think Jordan is the GOAT, and he'll always be the GOAT to me. Hey, I'll be buying I guarantee all the people that subscribe to me and people in the world, y'all would much rather buy a pair of J's before y'all buy a pair of LeBrons. Now, maybe if you're hooping, you'll wear some Browns, and even then, I still see niggas pop out them Jordans. But honestly, all in all, we all know LeBron is the greatest player in our decade or our generation. But will there be another person that's going to be better than him? Definitely. We said the same thing about MJ. There wasn't going to be another MJ. Then we got Kobe, who was just a copy of MJ. Then we said we ain't going to get another Kobe. We got a LeBron. There's always going to be another person that surpasses the next person. That's just how the game evolves. But the greatest of all time is definitely MJ. He was literally, niggas literally was calling him Black Jesus. Niggas don't call LeBron Black Jesus. Niggas was literally calling MJ God. Even LeBron on a few different accounts called MJ God. He said it felt like I was looking at Black Jesus. Come on now, look it up if you don't believe me. It was in multiple interviews. LeBron has said that MJ had insane aura. But like, come on now. Anyways, let's get back to the video. But like I said, MJ is the GOAT. If you don't agree with me, so be it. It's my opinion. Go fuck yourself if you don't.
More meaningful longevity. If you ask me, it isn't. As Jordan during his prime in the 90s maximized every single season and got the most out of his career. 90s, so, LeBron James has left rings, MVPs, and a ton of other accolades on the table. And looking at LeBron's tenure in Los Angeles post the bubble championship, which is still pretty iffy, LeBron's past 5 years have been absolutely brutal.
That is crazy.
2021 lost in the first round.
Boy, this shit was hilarious when this nigga, I think the Suns beat him. If I'm not mistaken, the Suns beat him this year. Then he lost this round. He missed the playoffs. He was sitting at home. This was after he sacrificed Kobe for that bubble ring. Yes, I'm conspiring to the tinfoil hats. Call me tinfoil hat B-man with this one. After he sacrificed Kobe so to win his Mickey Mouse ring, he had something had to give. This one, that was just sick. I was laughing my ass off. Some of my friends was mad he missed the playoffs. Swept. Honestly, 2023 was his last best year to win a ring, and he didn't do it. Honestly, I think the ring window has closed for LeBron, in all honesty. And it's unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. It's time for a new era. This is when Jokic swept his ass, and this year was when LeBron started contemplating and threatening retirement. Then Jokic beat them in 5. He was starting to contemplate retirement again, and now he's contemplating retirement again. Honestly, LeBron's legacy, he's fucking himself now. Honestly, after he got his last ring, he should have just retired then. But he's looking like Tom Brady when Tom Brady was still on the Bucks after he got his 7th ring, and all them years after he started playing, like them 2 to 3 extra seasons he played, and everybody started to say Tom Brady's starting to regress and look washed. LeBron should just hang up the jersey in the rafters before he gets bad, because honestly, it's going to get fucked up. Because now the part of having longevity is now everybody's going to start seeing you as what you are now. They're going to start focusing on what you did back in the day and start focusing on all your failures, especially in this media age now. So it's even worse for him. So honestly, he needs to hang up his jersey as soon as possible. He really should have hung up his jersey he was still young, but 2023, he should have just hung it up. He should have known he was washed then. It's over for Brian. I don't know. Unless he go team hops to another team, but you know.
Was absolutely disgraced. 2022, with the so-called super team of Russ, AD, Melo, Dwight, and Rondo, they missed the postseason. The following year, 2023, after firing Frank Vogel, they made the West Finals, and of course, in that series, LeBron James choked in the biggest moments. 2024, the exact same thing versus Denver. Lost the series in 5 games, and LeBron in the clutch absolutely came up short. And last but not least, 2025 versus Minnesota. LeBron yet again this series, as the favorite, the higher seed, choked in the biggest moments. This latest LeBron James blunder, it was a doozy. In typical LeBron James fashion, it took 45 minutes an hour to blame Rob Pelinka and ask for more help.
Basically from mid-January on, right when AD got injured, you guys started playing a lot of centerless basketball. How tough was that for the last 3.5 months to play that style, and do you feel like that caught up at all in this series?
No comment.
Of course,
I never say that because
LeCap James,
my guy AD said what he needed, and then he was gone the following week. So
the past 5 years, LeBron James in LA, it's been really revealing. This guy's attitude, his smugness, just the general cockiness of LeBron James has been on full display. And like you saw in that clip, always makes excuses to flex, doesn't have enough help.
This is your GOAT, by the
LeBron
way.
James is the only so-called GOAT who always needs a perfect team around him to compete for championships.
Yeah, we had Rio, we had Udonis, but we didn't have enough as far as enough complementary guys to actually make it all.
Well, maybe you're just making excuses.
And one thing I do want to highlight when comparing Jordan versus LeBron James is their dominance as the higher seed, their dominance as the favorite. For someone like Jordan as the favorite, he always won. I'm not joking. MJ with home court advantage was a perfect 24-0. Even the great Bill Russell can't say that. For LeBron's career, he's lost not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times, but 5 times with home court advantage.
It's gotta hurt.
Damn.
Anthony Edwards, prior to this series starting, he said Minnesota was the underdogs. They had nothing to lose.
They definitely were the underdogs.
Pressure.
That
Edwards
is very
saying
true.
He's 1000% right. Who the pressure was on was LeBron James, Luka, and JJ Redick. And of course, all 3 of them cracked under that pressure. For someone like Jordan, yes, he wasn't perfect, had bad games here and there, but when he was favored to win, supposed to win, he always won.
Man.
A lot of players, no matter how great they were, cannot say that.
Remember who MJ is? He was Black Jesus or Black Cat.
For LeBron James getting 6 rings,
I can't
even
believe niggas
5
is really
rings,
saying that.
it's never happening. This guy's not a winning player anymore, and he's too old. And of course, the media, they can't cope with that. As like we see time and time again, they keep saying he's in his prime, he's typical LeBron James, a top 5 player.
They be dick
and then of course,
sucking
when
him.
he loses, it's LeBron James, he's the victim,
Yep,
he's old, he's 40, why do you expect so
Brian
much?
sexuals.
For a lot of LeBron fans like Perkins, Shannon Sharp, and Nick Wright, their biggest enemy is themselves. As LeBron scored 35 points on a random Tuesday, it's proof LeBron James is the GOAT. He's stamped right there. Then, of course, the playoffs come around. He fumbles, bumbles, loses in the first round. Then all of a sudden, LeBron James, he's 40 years old. This shouldn't count on his resume. And looking at someone like Nick Wright, when it comes to MJ and Washington, those 2 years, he holds him against MJ very much.
People just react like you spit at them. Like, oh, you're going to bring up the Wizards years? Oh, I don't know, guys. Was he playing? Was he younger when he started with the Wizards than LeBron is right now?
Hey,
so stopping that right there, Nick
MJ
Wright,
like that.
very animated,
But
very
he was somewhat
upset
decent.
that MJ's years in Washington aren't talked about enough. And look, old MJ with the Wizards missing the playoffs twice, yes, kind of a stain on his legacy, a bad ending.
It definitely was
but
a
here's
stain
the
on his
thing.
legacy.
MJ in Washington, who was he playing with? Jerry Stackhouse 1 year, Rip Hamilton the next. He didn't have an Anthony Davis, a Westbrook, heck, certainly not a Luka Doncic. He didn't have any all-star caliber players, superstar players. LeBron in LA has had that every single season. And look at his past 3 series. First Minnesota, 4-1. Denver, 4-1. And then a sweep in the 23 West Finals. LeBron James, every one of those series, had a superstar alongside him. MJ in Washington did not have that. If Mike wanted a cheap 7th ring, a cheap 8th ring, he could have gone to the Lakers, the Spurs, one of the top teams in the West, or even the East. MJ, though, went to the Wizards. Their expectations weren't championship. LeBron James and Lakers, having superstar talent, a stacked roster, that's a different level. If you want to say all those years count, go ahead and say it. But MJ missing the playoffs in Washington with Jerry Stackhouse isn't the same as LeBron James in the West missing the playoffs with Westbrook Davis and a loaded cap. It's not the same. So that right there is the end of the video, and I'll say one last thing. LeBron James, if by chance you're watching this video, retire right now. The longer you play, the more help you get, the worse your legacy becomes. This loss in the first round with Luka, after tons of hype being the 3rd seed, that was embarrassing. The longer you play, the longer you drag this out, the worse you look.
And
reality,
look at LeBron walking off. He even walked off the court looking mad as hell. But anyways, that's pretty much the end of the video. But like I said, LeBron should have been retired. Like I said, he should have been did that. But honestly, if you want to keep on playing, keep on playing. But now your resume on your record, on your rap sheet is looking bad. And the longer you play at this point, the more you're just killing yourself. You're just shooting yourself in the foot, really. You're just playing Russian roulette. And you got all 5 bullets in a chamber, and all it takes is that one shot. Because LeBron don't have too many more playoff losses before y'all start reconsidering if he's the GOAT or not. Now, some of y'all Bron sexuals and Bron dick riders and whatnot is still gonna be talking about, oh, LeBron could do it if he wanted to. LeBron is still in his prime. But no, at a certain point in time, you just got to give it up and just let it go and let it be. It is what it is at the end of the day. And LeBron just don't got it no more. It's okay. It's a new era of basketball. We need to start looking at Ant, Jokic, the last of what Curry got, the last of what KD got, Ja Wick and Zion Williamson and Cade Cunningham. So we got to start focusing on the new age. This old era, we're done with the 90s. Remember that trend? We're done with the 2000s. Let's let it go. We're in a new era of basketball, and we need to embrace that. Let's stop dwelling so much on the past. This man, he left it all on the floor. He'd had a good career, don't get me wrong. But it's time to let it go, unks. I mean, not unks, nephews. It's time to give it up. Let this man just go on off. If he retires, so be it. I don't think LeBron will ever get a ring again. But if he does, well, I'll be damned. But even if he does, congrats. If he doesn't, cool. So it is what it is. And let's also end the GOAT debate. MJ is the GOAT. And let's let that be known as well. You can't change my mind on that. And that's all for the video, folks. I just had to get this out there when I seen it on my YouTube feed. But that's all for the video, folks. And I will see you in the next one. B-Man out.